Today, we're going to be talking about 5 reasons that you might want to live in Fort Lauderdale if you have a family.
So, hi, I'm Kev.
And I'm Suze.
And this is Living in Fort Lauderdale with Kev and Suze. There's a number of reasons why it may be best for families to move to Fort Lauderdale. Now, everybody knows about Fort Lauderdale being the sunshine capital of the state, and 3,000 hours of sunshine every year. Average temperature of 75 degrees. But there are a lot of other reasons too why you may want to look to move to Fort Lauderdale with your family. Fort Lauderdale has a lot of thriving neighborhoods. It's got a wonderful school system. There's a lot of things that people can do. Okay, it's got great health care. It's got great amenities. A lot of things that folks are looking for when they're considering moving with their family to a new location.
Oh, and there's a lot of fun things for kids to do. So if you're interested in that, stick around.
We're local realtors, and we love doing what we do, and we love helping people find the ideal place for them to move to and to reside to.
And to help families as well.
Exactly. So one of the first things in Fort Lauderdale is that it's not really as expensive as you would think it would be. Yes, it is in South Florida, okay, but Fort Lauderdale is made up of a number of different neighborhoods. Some of the higher end neighborhoods, yeah, million dollar homes, $1 million places, but there are a lot of other neighborhoods around. In fact, if you check one of our other videos, 5 best neighborhoods in Fort Lauderdale, you'll get a lot of detail on some of those neighborhoods that we're talking about. But there are a lot of different areas in Fort Lauderdale that appeal to a lot of different folks with families, whether you are just starting your family, whether you're transitioning from toddler to a little bit older, or whether you have a family that's just you and the teenagers. So there's a lot of different things that you can look for, a lot of different areas you can look for as far as the neighborhoods go. It is a little more costly than some of the other areas.
Some areas, but not all areas.
But it is a little more costly than some of the other areas in the United States, and also some of the areas in Florida itself. But it's not nearly as expensive as living in, say, Miami or living in West Palm Beach. And aside from the cost of the property, actually the cost of utilities, the cost of the groceries, and the cost of a lot of the incidentals are actually less than a lot of the other areas around.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of good things going on. Some of the areas that you want to look at is maybe some of the best neighborhoods to look at are Coley Hammock, Tarpon River, Victoria Park.
Tarpon River has, that was a fun tour that we did in Tarpon River.
So, and Harbor Beach. Now, Harbor Beach is unique in that, for 2 reasons. Number one is it's completely surrounded by a marina. Number two is that it's a very, very high-end neighborhood, so it has a lot of amenities in there. But again, something you may want to consider looking at. Okay?
Well, that's true, and there's many boat owners in that neighborhood, or I should say, yachts.
Yacht owners.
Yes, I should say yachts.
And actually, it's one of the reasons why Fort Lauderdale is known as the Venice of America, because of all the canals and everything that goes through there. So, but the other thing is that there's a lot of activities around Fort Lauderdale. There's tons of things that you can do. Yeah, there are a lot of yachts and there are a lot of boats and there's a lot of water and stuff like that. But there are also a lot of amusement parks. There's museums. There's libraries. Not to mention all of the different attractions that you can go see. There are all types of historical things. Fort Lauderdale is one of the more older cities in South Florida.
Well, that's true. But if you're in the metro area, there's Butterfly World that isn't too far from Fort Lauderdale. You have the Science Museum that isn't too far, the Frost Museum, which is down in Miami. So if you're in Fort Lauderdale, there's a lot of different areas and surrounding areas.
That's very, very true. The other thing is that Fort Lauderdale, because it's located in Broward County, has a high quality education. Now, I mean, that is one of the things that everybody's looking at when they bring their family down are the schools. So you want to take a look at those. But and one of the best things about it is that it's not super expensive to go to school down here.
Well, they have a lot of charter schools as well.
And the magnet schools, exactly. They also have a couple of different universities that are located in Fort Lauderdale, and a lot of technical schools. So, and again, quality schools is one of the reasons why people are looking to move into Fort Lauderdale. But let's talk about kind of the things you can do as a family down here. And this is probably one of the most compelling reasons for folks who have families, as well as folks who don't have families who are looking to move down here. I mean, it's beautiful weather. It's awesome beaches, okay? And it's a very active community. People are out doing things basically 12 months out of the year. There are all kinds of festivals that are going on. There's all kinds of food shows that are going on. There's all kinds of different live events that are happening. I mean, you get like the Tortuga Music Festival, the Las Olas Food and Wine Festival. There's all kinds of little fringe festivals going on. And one of the things about Fort Lauderdale that we found was so intriguing, okay, is that it's very diverse. There's a lot of different things. It's kind of like a nice little mixture of everything. So if you're into Asian, if you're into Hispanic culture, if you're into all these different things meld together and form some of the coolest places to go and some of the coolest things to see. Some of the
cuisine is very good down here.
And so are the festivals. The festivals are incredibly interesting down here.
And the art festivals.
Again, because of this, it's going to kind of engage you in all kinds of different areas and kinds of different things that you're out looking around for.
Oh, and the area is also noted for, there's quite a few farmer markets in the area. A lot of times you'll see a vendor that might have homemade ceviche, which is great.
They also have art festivals, like Las Olas has a nice art festival. Las Olas is one of the primary roads throughout Fort Lauderdale. It's kind of like the combination of the Rodeo Drive of Fort Lauderdale and Restaurant Row. It's kind of the coolest things that are going on. Fort Lauderdale is also home of the Florida Renaissance Festival.
Oh, which is fun.
So, and then our nephew, who's big into aerial photography. There's a huge air show here on the Lauderdale Air Show here once a year, where all kinds of different aircraft come around. And let's not forget the Fort Lauderdale boat show.
Oh yes, for the yachting capital of the world. Yes,
exactly. It goes on in October of every year, and they bring in boats from all over the world. So
there's a tip: if you don't go to the yachting or the boat show, you could actually hit one of the restaurants in the Intercoastal, and you get a show or a parade along that path in the
Intercoastal Waterway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We did that a couple weekends ago.
That was fun. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a marathon run up and down A1A, which is the kind of like the beachside highway, if you will. It goes from Miami all the way up through Fort Lauderdale up into some of the more northern beaches. There's a Hollywood Beach Latin Festival that goes on every year. That's just an incredible thing to view and to participate in.
Oh, and remember when we took Knox and he did the surfing?
Oh yeah, that's true. Very good. Good point.
Yeah,
good point,
yeah.
Suze. The Margaritaville Resort has a water area where you can actually surf, do body surfing, and you can actually bring out small little surfboards and act like you're surfing, and it's a consistent thing. So it's a great thing if you are learning how to surf. It's also great if you want to entertain your kids and stuff like that for a while. As Suzanne said, our nephew Knox had a wonderful time doing that. So.
Yeah, and he definitely enjoyed that. He lives out in Montana, so this was something that he could do. Oh, and it was around Christmas, so that's something that you can do outdoor activities or summer activities even in December.
Mm-hmm. True, very true. So couple of the other things about Fort Lauderdale is its location. Okay, it's right on what they call the Treasure Coast here in South Florida, and it's close enough to the beaches and everything else to where you can obviously enjoy the beaches and enjoy the ocean, enjoy everything else around there. But a lot of the neighborhoods that we were talking about move further inland inside the actual mainland of Florida, and you get such an incredible diversity of types of housing and different types of different things that you can take a look at. There's condos, there's townhomes, there are very reasonably priced single-family homes, and of course there are the more opulent, more expensive, oceanfront condos, and some of the big 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,000 square foot, almost like mansions that are in there. But again, there's something basically for everybody down here.
Oh, don't forget to talk about the Blue Wave certified beaches.
Oh, very, very good. Also, too, Fort Lauderdale takes its water safety very, very seriously. And Fort Lauderdale, as well as one of its neighbors to the north, Deerfield Beach, is one of the few Blue Wave certified beaches. Now, what that means is that the folks that are basically managing this are going to almost extreme measures to make sure that the beach is safe, that the area around it is clean, that there's no there's no trash on the beach. There's nothing that could basically you could step on and cut your feet. Also to make sure that the marine life, if there are marine life warnings out there, that those are posted and those are notified. You'll see surfers out there looking all the time, 7x24 sometimes, and definitely going out there 9, 10, 12 months out of the year. So
yes, and if there's turtle sightings or we have nesting,
that's also
blocked off.
Oh, that's true. Actually, during turtle nesting season, which is actually kind of a neat thing for the kids to see. So from March to October, they have what they call turtle nesting, and the sea turtles come and they build nests on the beach, and they have these big mounds. And what they're doing is there are people out there watching it to make sure that it doesn't get disturbed, not only by other humans, but also by other potential predators coming through. The seagulls and some of the other predators are coming out to try to basically eat the eggs and steal the eggs and everything else. And then long about mid to late November, when the turtles hatch, it's like a huge migration down the beach.
Oh, yeah, and you can book a tour and do that in the evening.
Exactly.
And it's safety for the turtles. You get a little tour, and it's great for kids. It's a wonderful experience.
It is. It truly is. So, and again, we've talked about some of the things that are great for families moving. We've talked about the weather. We've talked about the location. We've talked about the school system. We've talked about the things that you can do, and we've talked about the neighborhoods around there that can appeal to everybody else. So.
Oh, we only talked about Coley Hammock. You've also got Victoria Park, you've got Tarpon River. There's
a lot of things for families to do. It's not just the way it used to be known as, back in the 80s for the spring break crowd, Fort Lauderdale, or Fort Liquordale, as it was known back then, was basically the place where all the college kids came down. But they have Fort Lauderdale and the surrounding areas have done a tremendous job of trying to basically, entice families to come down here and show the families that there is something down there for them. Now, is there entertainment for everybody? Of course there certainly is. There's all kinds of restaurants, there's all kinds of bars, there's all kinds of places to go.
You've got the waterfront, you've got the Stranahan House, there's a tour there on how old Fort Lauderdale was settled back in the 1920s.
True. Exactly. So there is a lot of stuff for everybody down there to appeal to, as I said, to appeal to young families, to appeal to folks with kids that are up walking around and kind of doing their own thing, as well as families that have teenagers down there. So, and the school systems are very, very good school systems, because it gives you an option. It's not just the public school system, which is very good because it's in Broward County, but also because you have charter schools and you have magnet schools. So you have a lot of different options to look at as far as education goes too. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment drop the little note in the comments below. Hopefully you found something of interest and something of enjoyment in the video here. If you do, we'd love for you to subscribe, and you can hit the little bell there, and it'll tell you when we drop a new video out. So,
and thank you for watching.
Thanks.